I'm organizing summer schools and other events that try to convince people to come here and show them how great science is.
This is Dr. Barbara Jobstmann, a lecturer of the IC School at EPFL, and she's also organizing events to promote computer science.
Actually, I'm running currently two. One is toi aussi crée ton appli, which is for girls aged 13 to 15, and this is really targeted towards bringing girls to computer science, to show them that they can do it as well. Most of them have no exposure to computer science. They only know a little bit of, oh, it's only for geeks, it's lots of mathematics, and I cannot do that. And we try to break this a little bit. So we get every year about between 80 and 100 girls coming here to EPFL for a couple of days, and we show them how to program a phone application, an Android app.
So what's a day of the Crée ton appli summer school like?
Every morning they program, and it's a Scratch-like programming language, so where they can drag and drop, and then at the end of the week they have their own app. In fact, we tell them to program a chat client. So we have a chat server running, they program the client, and then at the end of the week they can send messages to each other like in WhatsApp, so they sort of know what this is about. And in the afternoon we have visits to labs, to companies, we have people coming here to show them a little bit how broad computer science is.
And the project has been growing.
It was the 5th year now. So initially we started with 20 students, and now we stabilized about around 90 students that we are getting every year.
And the girls love it.
Well, the feedbacks are usually very good. So they're, in particular, the first few years where we had fewer, where we had 20, then we had 40, then we doubled it again. We have now 80 or 90. And so all of them were really happy about it.
Some even eventually enrolled at EPFL.
Some of them are, yeah, actually. We have, because we started at like 5 years ago, the first ones are just old enough, and from the first ones we have 2 or 3 that just came. The first group had only 20 students, and from these I think 3 are at EPFL right now. So we will see. It's a bit, you cannot directly count it because there's so many reasons why people don't come here, unfortunately. But at least they should get an idea of that there is the option and they can do it as well. So that's what we want.
But as the project grew, there were also girls that were forced to come by their parents.
Once we invited so many girls to come here, there are some that don't want to come, that are forced by their parents. Last year we had 2 of them. And it's, in fact, we have more of them, but 2 of them really resisted till the end. Usually at the first day, some say, well, I didn't want to come, but my parents made me to come, and then they start enjoying it, and then it was fine. But some of them are super resistant. They're just, because they are forced to be here, they really don't like it. Yeah. But we didn't have this when we had fewer students. Only now when we move to more and more, then we get more of these cases that are forced to come. And also, it depends a bit how long we open the registration. If we keep the registration open until the end, like until June, then you can see some parents get desperate and then they register, and then it's very likely that some of those don't want to come.
Dr. Jobstmann also started another program to promote computer science.
We started the second summer school is Nature and Code, which I developed over the spring semester with 2 students, one from SV, from life science, and one from computer science. And we developed a program together based on actually a book from Marcel Salaté, which is also called Nature and Code. We asked him for the title and he said it's fine to use it. So we're advertising his book, and it's quite nice. And there they do JavaScript programming using problems from biology. So we chose biology because my target group is to get more female students, or essentially just to broaden their horizon. And at this age group is for older ones, it's 15 plus. So it's like we had 15 to 21 actually. And these ones, usually the parents cannot force them anymore. So they need to be really interested to come here. And that's why we chose biology, because usually it attracts more women.
And the program did successfully brought in female participants.
It worked out. So we had over 60% of female attendees. Yeah.
But unfortunately, females are not yet in majority in computer science departments.
We are increasing, but very slowly. So it's not, well, I think what saves us a little bit is we have communication systems, which some think it's something completely different, and communication sounds nice. So they come here, and then a bit surprised, but many of them stay. And it's also a bit, well, at least that's what they tell us, it's a bit more friendly because it's a smaller group, and so they really like this environment. Like the geeks go more to computer science, and the more open people go to communication systems. I'm a computer scientist, so but still that's what the students tell us.
There's unfortunately still a lot to be done.
There's lots of work to be done, and unfortunately we're a bit late, right? If you try to convince them at the stage of when they're already like 18, usually their mind is already set in the sense of it's not for me. So we need to broaden a bit earlier and to kind of just keep the options open still.
So how can this be done?
I was thinking I would like to get a bit more in contact with schools, because I think teachers are super, super important. But it's I speak unfortunately not very well French, which makes it difficult here. So maybe I'll go to the German-speaking part and see what's happening there, or I need to see. I don't know, because this is one of the main points. If a teacher convinces one of the students, one of the pupils, that they are good in something, that's already you have won essentially, because they usually have the power to do that.
Elles deviennent des créatrices.
On devait faire une application, donc vraiment c'était un truc assez poussé, je trouve.
J'ai aimé faire construire l'application, faire les blocs, tout ça.
On doit juste faire un chat et on peut rajouter des jeux si on veut.
Computational thinking is the way in which you sort of think about the problems you want to solve. Programming is a technique for solving certain problems. Programming certainly requires computational thinking, but the fact that it can be applied in many different places without programming is an argument for why it should be a widespread skill, that people should learn it in general, because it will help them in their sort of day-to-day life, even if they never program a computer.